Welcome to the Bravo Rundown, a weekly podcast and video series about everything Bravo, everything that's happening in the Bravoverse. And I am Genevieve Melzer, Real Melz of Bravo, and my lovely guest.
Sonia Weber, just booking around in Bravo, Bravo, Books and Bravo.
Okay, so let's get into, we're starting with Summer House because we have a few things to discuss. First, let's talk about Lindsay Hubbard on Watch What Happens Live and that she was stumbling or couldn't think of what to say in the moment, and that rarely happens for Lindsay.
Oh, very rare. She's the PR queen. She had
Yeah.
her own PR company. So in the after, honestly, I didn't watch the show yet, but I watched the after
Mhm.
show on YouTube, and someone asked, what did she think? Has Kyle basically been repeatedly cheating on Amanda throughout their marriage? I've never seen her stumble so much.
Yeah. She was like, when, oh,
It was really
okay.
surprising because it's not a surprising question to be asked.
No.
Like, why are you're caught off guard? And then she's just said, okay, let me regroup here. Just her reaction was so surprising. Like, was that intentional?
I know I made a video about it, and I think one of the comments, somebody was like, I wonder, or maybe it was you, but I wonder if this is a storyline that we'll see on in the city.
Oh,
Like, are we
no,
gonna
that
see that maybe she did or he did cheat and Amanda finds out, and that's like a storyline that's coming because the way that she was like, um, uh,
that's a very good point
mm-hmm,
because she's
mm-hmm.
very honest. She shares everything. That makes the most sense because she can't say, well, I can't say, you're gonna have to watch the city. Like she can't say that. That
Exactly,
makes the most
right?
sense. But then why would Andy usually in those situations, Andy will kind of help the guest when it's a fourth wall break and
True.
when he can't say anything, he didn't say it. Maybe he hasn't
No,
watched the city yet.
maybe
But
not.
it was Ben that said, and Ben, like very clear, Ben said, I think what happens is he drinks so much or whatever he's using, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and then he cheats, which tracks. And Lindsay did say in season 3, when we discussed it, remember how he couldn't remember? He had to go track down the girl.
Yeah.
That was so odd. He literally had to go track her down, ask her what happened, and then just, I mean, do we believe her? Amanda did, but do we believe her? Do we believe that Kyle is repeating what she said accurately?
I remember, like, because I watched that more recently than when it first happened. And so, yeah, remember he did cheat on her in season 1 or 2. And then in season 3, Lindsay, like my friend said that, he cheated on
Uh,
her. And when he cheated on her was that thing of like he was out of his mind, he didn't remember whatever. So yeah, he goes and meets this woman and she says or whatever like nothing happened, but the thing is I'm like, was that just storyline?
yeah. Wait, what was the first cheating then? I'm remembering that cheating. Was there something else that
Yeah, there
was
was because her parents know that he cheated on her. Like, I just remember that her parents know that it was that he didn't know. He was so wasted, like out of his mind. He doesn't
again?
remember what happened and he had cheated on her, but he didn't remember it because he was like so blackout drunk, which is a problem
That's
too, right? And
hmm
so that I think that was the moment where everything has changed. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because now every time you go out, I'm thinking about if you're going to cheat on me.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, right? And so, yeah, so then season 3 happened and it was like, oh, well,
Here
did
we go
he do it
again.
again? Exactly. So I definitely think that could be a cheating storyline coming up in the city. Also on Watch What Happens. Lindsay was asked, and also Sierra was asked this on Watch What Happens Live, who will date first, Kyle or Amanda? And everyone seems to be picking Amanda. And
Yeah.
this week, there were some rumors that maybe the guy Amanda is dating was at that singles party on the latest episode.
Yeah, she posted a carousel of the snow day everyone's been having in New York City. from their snowstorm, not to, speak lightly of that. But one of the pictures in the carousel, if you dig through, and she's kind of reaching out and touching someone's hand, like their palm is out and her fingers.
Yeah, it was
The
like,
first time I saw that, I thought she was just showing us her nails. I really didn't think anything of it at all. She's a very touchy, all of them on Summer House. They're much more
yeah.
touchy and flirty than I ever was at that age. So I really didn't think anything of it. And then it was, what is it? Nat, your girl Nat, something, I don't want to say her name wrong, but said that she went and did the investigative reporting, and that guy and that image of the tan touching matches, is it Aiden Blake, the
I think,
TikTok
yes.
influencer? And he was at the party and they were able to match sweaters and all.
Yes, it was so cool because she was like, this is the same sweater. He's wearing it here and he was wearing it in a post. He had the same chain on, and he is like one of Wes's friends. So it makes sense. Amanda was hanging out with Wes, so during this snow day. There weren't any pictures of this Aiden Blake guy, but there was a lot of pictures of Amanda with Wes and some other friends. And so
And that
now,
New York City party that we saw in Summer House was hosted by West. So if this Aiden guy is there, West would have brought him. So here's my theory. We all thought that The City was a show about the girls, right? The new spinoff. They show in episode 1 or 2 when Lindsay is there that she's like, oh, Kyle called me. And we talked about, the relationship and everything. Lindsay is asked about Kyle and the cheating. She doesn't want to speak negatively really of Kyle, right? So she's on. I'm starting to wonder, is this City spinoff, is Kyle going there? And is Amanda, being best friends with West, going to stay on Summer House?
Oh, that's a good theory because I don't see Sierra in any of the stuff going to in the city, and I feel like Amanda and Sierra would go together.
Yeah.
That's a really good.
But Amanda's doesn't really seem tight with any of the girls. I will say that.
Yeah,
I think that they are Paige, Sierra, these are all show friends. I don't know how much, it seems like wherever she went to college, maybe she was a sorority girl. She talked about her very early seasons, how she had a share house with her friends. I feel like we haven't met any of her friends.
Never.
And this group is constantly going to weddings, abroad to weddings, all over the world to go to weddings. Well, who are these friends that are getting married that we have never met?
You're right. And yeah,
so
remember last year, Lexi was Amanda's friend, not really her friend. You know what I mean? So why not get a real Amanda friend on there?
Yes. I want to see her college friends, her high school. And maybe they're all married now with children too. Maybe that's another reason.
Yeah, could be.
But at least a friend coming in to give her advice, calling on the phone, spending the weekend with her, like coming to the Hamptons for one weekend. So, and doesn't she have a brother? We never met the brother either.
Yeah, I know. We've met like everyone from Kyle's family, but we haven't met.
No, I recently found he has a sister.
Oh,
Because I was wondering why I questioned, does Kyle not have a sister? Because I feel like I'm a sister and I mean, I have a brother and I'm going to tell it to him straight. Like, what are you doing? Like, get it together.
Yeah.
Does he not have somebody doing that to him about his marriage with Amanda? It's like he never understands anything about her. It's all her fault.
Is she older or younger, the sister?
I don't know.
Because if she's older, then she should. If she's younger, they might just like, in his family, it seems like they think he's like the greatest thing ever. You know what I mean? That is
true.
So I feel like everyone kind of babies him and they're like, Kyle, you're just so great. So
yeah, that's possible too.
You had a very adverse reaction to Jessie this week.
Oh, yes.
And how did you feel about the fact that Jessie is like asking Wes for permission to make out with Sierra?
The whole thing was weird. Like he came in this season and was like, I'm going to be best friends with the girls. I'm going to take Paige's spot. I want all the camera time that I can get. So just that in itself, like it was just very off-putting. Like, Wes is your boy. Then he goes to ask Wes, is it okay if I make out with Sierra? Like, I'm not getting those vibes from Sierra at all.
Me neither. I think he's kind of lost his footing this season. You know what I mean? Last year, I think he lost his confidence because of the whole Lexi thing and the fandom coming for him. And now he's trying to like fit in. And you posted a clip that Dorinda said on her podcast. She thinks it's storyline. She doesn't see a connection between them. And I agree with that.
I agree. I don't know that it's storyline. I think Wes really hasn't, like he's always flirted with Sierra. Remember very first season when Wes and Sierra were kind of dating and Sierra asked Wes, can I sit in his lap? And
Oh
Wes was
yeah, or
like,
like,
I
can
don't
I
care.
kiss him or something? And they like pecked or
Yeah,
whatever.
oh, that was it. And I think for Wes, this is a gorgeous girl that he probably would never give him the time of day. I hate to say that, but probably wouldn't if they met out at a bar in Manhattan. But they're on a
Hmm.
show together, they're filming, they've become friends. He's getting attention, he's loving this attention, and he doesn't really care so much for the friendship with West.
Yeah, yeah. It's also, I feel like Sierra's not interested in either of them.
No.
And, I think there are people that want to ship West and Sierra again, and maybe something will happen this season between them, but I don't think it's going to be like a deep relationship. I think they just kind of become friends. Maybe they like hook up. They talk about their relationship, whatever, but like Jesse, I don't think you should be like Wes is your ally in this house. Like you don't really have anyone. You have Carl, you have Jesse. I don't really see you kind of bonding with anyone else. And you have Sierra. She's your friend too that isn't attracted to you.
No, I think he
So,
botched that friendship with West. Wait, tell me at the very end, I had to get close to my TV when West and Jesse were in the float in the pool, and
mhm.
West is kind of confronting him, like, why would you do that? What is Jesse saying back to him? I'm gonna do it anyways. Do you remember the
Oh,
end scene? It was really
no.
hard to hear, and that I have to go rewatch it. And it kind of
Okay.
seemed like he was like, well, I would do something like I would do it anyways, or I couldn't hear what was happening there.
No, I feel like I didn't even see that part, so I don't even know what I was doing. But now
Well,
I
it
will,
was
I need to go
meant
back
to
and look
watch
at that
it.
too.
Ben brought up a good point. It was
Mhm.
kind of like how convenient that he asks you that in front of all the single guys. I didn't even clock that. I was like, that is a good
And
point.
why didn't he ask him privately, but with the other guys
Well, that's
around? So there's like a
intentional.
buffer. Yeah, exactly. So you can't really be real and you're just kind of like, okay.
No, that's him staking his claim, is what Ben said. Him saying it in front of I didn't
Oh.
catch that. He said that he's saying that in front of all the single guys to be like, I'm going after her. Not those words, but she's mine, hands
Hmm.
off. That was
Hmm.
his way of saying that.
Before we move on, what did you think of the new girl?
We barely saw her. We briefly saw her, and she's not a Bailey.
No. Bailey is the new star. I've been
Bailey is the
seeing a
star.
lot of chatter about her. People like her. They think she's a star. So she's going to be kind of, I think, the next coming of the show.
Well, I want to say this without sounding offensive to Bailey, but the show has always been these model, drop dead gorgeous girls.
Hmm.
Always, right? And here's Bailey that's like someone relatable in the summer house. She's coming in being vulnerable right away. She'll, no makeup. She just that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be offensive to her in any way, but she's just a relatable girl that those of us watching, like, oh, look, she's kind of like me. And she goes and has a Hampton share house. You don't have to be this perfect model in order to go have fun in a share house.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. I also, this is shady, but I know Ben is like conventionally hot, but like, what is he bringing? I don't see him. I don't think
Yes.
he's funny. I don't really like, I'm not seeing any conversations with him. I don't really care about him. So he's kind of a dud
I
for
think
me.
I'm starting to see some chatter online about that too. That after
Okay.
this last episode, it's like he doesn't talk. I don't know if he's really shy on camera. The whole thing of the girls saying how hot he is, I am over that though.
Right. I'm
Like
like,
enough.
okay, I'm like, whatever. Yeah, he's a guy. Great. Let's move on. And we're
Yeah.
actually going to move on to our next topic, which is contract negotiations and Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City starting. But first, we do want to just say that, we're sending our love and prayers to Mary after the devastating news about her son. And, I'm hoping that maybe Bravo takes maybe like a week break, maybe two
Yeah.
weeks break just for her for filming.
Yeah. Andy put out something on his radio show this morning. It was very sweet, saying he had a talk with Mary just on Tuesday,
Okay.
um, sending all his love. And his co-host is a recovering addict. And so he spoke a little bit about what it must have been like for Mary, with Robert Jr.
Hmm.
It was
Hmm.
very sweet. And he just kind of kept it brief and then moved on. But I agree. I feel like and maybe not too much of a break. She may want to just jump back in. You don't know
Yeah.
how her grief, right? Maybe she's like, okay, I need some distraction. I don't want to just stay home a week or two. I agree. And then let her
Right.
move on if she's
Exactly.
ready.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too because a distraction might be good right now, but then you also don't want someone to have to, go be on
Yeah.
Housewives because it
Yeah, it's
sounds
true.
like it's very toxic,
Oh,
Housewives.
yeah.
And I don't think Mary takes in the toxicity the way that others do, but just the way that
That's
I
true.
started Lisa Rinna's book and she's talked about just kind of the whole thing, just it does sound very toxic.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that. But you know about a special clause that they
Oh,
added
yes.
in their
Dumas.
contract. Yes.
Yeah, Dumas posted something that there's a new clause. I mean, allegedly, we don't know. It is Dumas, but it could be just basically getting into the whole leaking storylines that they'll get fined if it's something that's alleged, they're, drumming up, or I don't know the exacts of it, but basically they won't even bring it to air. So pushing away all the storyline, the blogger storyline, and I was listening to a podcast that Ronnie Karen was talking about this morning. I think it was Ronnie, no, it was Zach Peters, sorry, saying basically, look at Hulu and look at Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They just jump into the blogger storylines. They jump into all the social media stuff, right? They put it
Mhm.
on their show. They just embrace it and let it be part of the storyline. Bravo, it's kind of seeped in. I mean, very much seeped in, and they can't control it.
Yeah.
Now they're putting a hard stop to it. It's going to be interesting to see how the show evolves without any social media interaction, because while as a viewer I don't really want to see it, but how can you not, because these housewives are so embedded in social media.
Yes, absolutely. I know it has become the extra cast member. You know what I mean? Where content creators actually being on the show, like
Yeah.
the Real Housewives of Orange County and Salt Lake City. And also, it feels like a lot of them are like fabricated. Like they say
Yeah.
the content creator says one thing, and then the content creator is like, I didn't say that. And so then it's like he said, she said, and we already have enough of that on Housewives. We want to see the action. I think this is a great move because I want to see what's happening on camera. I don't want to hear about something that's not happening on camera. But in that vein, if I see something on social media, can I then use it against you? Like I can't even
That's
throw it at you as like, well,
mm-mm.
I saw in the paper.
Yeah.
Does the paper still count?
Yeah. Well, that's what it'll be. The street. What is it? Is it in Atlanta? The streets are talking, or where? I don't remember where
Mm,
that was from, but it's going to be that. Well, the gossip in Salt Lake is that you did this. The gossip in Salt Lake is that they're going to find a way
yeah,
without saying it's social media,
right.
which,
Because remember last season, Bronwyn said that Lisa's lawsuits were in like the Salt Lake City
right,
Tribune. So does
right.
that count as an avenue of social media or no? That's a newspaper. So that you can quote that, you
Well, I
know?
think that's factual, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's true.
Well,
I
you
think
would
it
hope.
was,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, if it's in the new, I guess like the Salt Lake Tribune or whatever, like you would hope, right? But you could go find that. You could look it up. Whereas when they threw out Meredith, when this one TikToker is claiming because some woman on Facebook said on her neighborhood's page, like that stuff, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
you're wasting a storyline with that. We don't need that.
Right. And there's so much like fake AI content out
Oh
there
my God,
too
I
that
know.
like if you're in the wrong mood or you're watching with the lights out, you might
Yeah,
think it's real. Like I saw
yeah,
this thing where they were like, is this real? And it was a picture of Mauricio and Kyle, and it wasn't real, but like if I just glanced at it, I would be like, oh, they're back together. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And I feel like that is something that can really happen. So yeah, we can talk about your husband, we can talk about your kid, like whatever.
Yeah. But why are we doing that? Why is the
I
show gone in
know.
that direction? It's let's talk about you're angry at this person. Not, oh, well, I heard your husband's cheating. Stop, take that out. You're mad. Why are you mad at her? Let's resolve this. Let's figure this
Exactly.
out. It's like they need a mediator to come into these
Yeah, and
shows.
like if you need something to yell at the other person about, yell at them about what they're wearing. You know what I mean? Like get
Yes.
at them about their fashion or like
Yeah.
you could do something like, like high body count hair was epic and it had nothing to do with social media.
Yeah. But I think that's also takes a little wit and
Oh,
quick-wittedness as well, right? It
which
takes a
some of them
minute.
don't have.
So it's easy to go to, well, I saw on TikTok that you did it. It's like that's their language.
Yeah.
But I
I
agree, something has to change.
Right. I wonder how this is going to impact the way that Heather and Whitney play this game because it sounds like they're big. I'm going to call you before the season. This is what we're doing. This is what we
Mhm.
heard, and this is who we're going after, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
it sounds like maybe you can't do that anymore, or you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. They'll find ways around it. They're going to find another way.
They will.
They want to create the storyline, and really that's what makes the show work. A lot of the housewives have said how producers will call them before the season starts to sit them down and like let's. I think multiple of them have said that. Paige DeSorbo said that.
Yeah.
Crystal Minkoff has said that. Let's sit down and talk about what your storyline is going to be this year. So that's kind of how they think, I would imagine, and there's fear of losing their spot on the show. So what's the most drama I could bring in to have a good storyline to get the audience on my side? I think that's also a big part of it. They want to
Hmm.
be on, be the protagonist of the show.
Well, then show some messy stuff that's happening to you in your life because
Yes.
that will make you the protagonist, not telling, this person that they did this. It's like you just be messy within your own life and people will be captivated at that. I mean, look at Kim Richards.
Yeah.
She could bring it and she brought it,
Yeah,
like
she did. She did. And part of it too is I think that the housewives forget we enjoy when they're getting along.
we
Like if you have a
do.
party where you're having fun, the Kyle Richards hair twirl and the splits, that is really fun to want to. We don't need it all the time, but we need some of that. So when they're
Yes.
arguing the whole time, that doesn't work.
I actually really liked the little moments where this season when Angie and Lisa were getting along. I mean, they were like this small, but I was like, oh, they're
I
friends
agree.
again, right? I was like, oh, yay. And like, if they could just be friends for like an episode, it would be
Yeah.
nice, it'd be a nice change. Oh, okay. Wait, there was another article that you shared with me about Bravo and they're expanding for
Oh yeah.
2027. And they have all these ideas for these shows and this article even listed certain shows they may do and I just felt like I want to hear your thoughts on this, but I just kind of feel like are these shows going to replace shows that aren't doing well or are we just going to keep adding and adding and adding?
Well, I think Bravo has got to get some backup shows or some ideas because we really can't continue forever with these housewives. As much as
Yeah.
we like these shows, we're never going to get back to early days of all these franchises. Some of them are going to have to slowly end, fade away. I mean, look right now, we've got Miami, New Jersey, and New York. None of them have even started filming, which means we've got a lot of shows on right now.
Hmm.
September, October, what are we watching? OC and Salt Lake have started filming. Potomac, I don't know if they're going to have a quick turnaround or not. So where does
Hmm.
that leave us? So I do see the concept that we have got to start planning, or Bravo, like I work for Bravo. Bravo has got to start planning out long term. What are they looking at? So one of the shows was Next Gen Dubai, which I don't know about that. I know Next Gen LA and Next Gen NYC for sure, because
Hmm.
that's what the housewives' kids that want to be famous, they're going to those cities or they live there. But who's in Dubai?
No, good. Yeah, and
Carolyn's kids, but her oldest
yes.
is in college, I think in the States, and then the twins are, and I don't know about that one.
I feel like on that list also they had Real Housewives of Dubai, like another season with Caroline, Ion, and Lisa, and maybe
Yeah,
not the other ones, which I think, yeah, bring back Dubai for sure, because I loved
yeah.
it. But yeah, Next Gen Dubai, I don't know about that.
I
And
don't know
isn't it
that
like
one.
super expensive to film there?
They did. It has to. If they're taking
Right?
are they taking American production companies over there? I wonder who they're using, unless it's someone local.
That's a great question. And then also you mentioned Real Housewives of Miami, New York, and New
Yeah.
Jersey, and how like people are like speculating, are these not filming? And then you were listening to Andy and he like
Hmm.
squashed the rumors and we're like, no, we're filming them
Yeah.
or we're going to. But the
Yeah.
thing is, they're not filming Jersey.
No.
They haven't started filming New York. And at this point, I don't care about Jersey or New York anymore.
I know.
And so I think you're right about like, I think some of these housewife franchises are going to run their course. Like
Hmm.
OC is like,
Yeah, it's there.
it's there, right?
Yeah.
And we're running it back with the same cast that we've
I,
run it back in the before. And
yeah.
then like we didn't really change much, but we've had this cast before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, uh-oh, this is like bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No.
And I know it's like they are, and Beverly Hills is its own animal, but like
Hmm.
it's not the same as it was back. You know, it's just
No, it's not. It's
very
not going
different
to be.
now,
Well, and
right?
there's this sadness too, right? If you, like, look at Kyle. We saw her when her marriage was doing great. Her kids were young. She was constantly partying. She's going through a divorce. She lost her best friend. She's just not in that party
Yeah,
phase.
she doesn't drink anymore, which is
And
great too,
that's her
you
life.
know.
That's, she's in a happy, peaceful place, but then it's not show worthy. There,
Yeah,
it's not much
yeah.
to see there.
Right, we've already seen Kyle's home. We've already seen her cars. We've seen all of the opulence that she gives or
Yeah.
wants to, it's like we've seen her a lot. So I know it's almost like these new franchises are more fun because
Yes.
we get to meet them. They're new, they don't know the game, you know what I mean? So those first, I think like Salt Lake is like so good right now because they're still so fresh, but they are getting to that point, I think, where people are going to hate each other
Hmm.
forever, and then I'm not going to want
Yeah.
to film with you, and then things are going to change and we're going to get rid of some of the originals, and then it's like a weird, area. So
Yeah, it goes too much into scripted. They're creating drama. And I
yes.
think Housewives for 20 years, Bravo has, dominated within the reality space with Housewives for 20 years. Nothing is going to last forever. So I
No.
think like we like the Valley Persian style. We're
Mm-hmm.
looking at the city.
Mm-hmm.
Summer House is looking at expanding into different cities also, right?
Yes, that's
So
what you said.
I think taking some of their concepts, maybe pulling it like for Kyle, her girls or one of the girls is going to go on Next Gen LA. Great. I can see Kyle, but I kind of want to see what her daughters are doing so I can
Mm-hmm.
watch her there.
Mm-hmm.
I think finding those offshoots of the housewives so we're connected, but it's a new show with new people. I think that's the
Yes,
direction.
because in the article, we all know Rhode Island is starting soon, but they had discussions of Real Housewives of Seattle, which I was like,
I
oh, do
know.
I need to move to Seattle? No, I'm just kidding. Uh, but I was like, oh, and then the thing is with the new franchises is that then we don't know who they are. We don't like them because we're not
Right.
familiar with them, right? And so it's like this double thing that's happening where we're like over these people, but we don't like these people because they're too
Hmm.
fresh and new. So yeah, it's a really weird place to be in because I'm like, I don't want to meet a bunch of new people, but then I meet them and then I like
Then I
them
like
and
them.
right. And also as a content creator, the new shows, like people don't really care.
I know the gossip behind them, what the
Yeah, they're
drama,
just
we're not invested.
yeah, I mean, and maybe that's just me because, like, I don't know, I'll just look at certain things, but I'm like, some things I can post about all the time, and nobody cares to hear that from me. But then, like, people want to hear about Beverly Hills, people want to hear about Summer House,
Yes.
Southern Charm. But yeah,
Well,
like,
yeah, sorry. From a
right?
creator standpoint, you can
Yeah,
quantify the data of what's popular based on what you talk about, right? And I agree with
exactly.
you. If it's Amanda Francis, it will get views.
Yes,
Austin Craig will get views. But yeah,
yes.
how is yours? Like we talked a little bit about this. If you post about the Valley Persian style.
You know what? That's done well for me. I need to
Okay.
post more about it. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm glad to see that because I haven't really heard much chatter about it at
No.
all. And it's a really good show. And I think it's only like 8 or 9 episodes because the season finale
Yes.
is happening, right? And
Hmm.
so I'm like, well, I hope we see it again, you
So
know?
MJ had said on Jeff Lewis that they aren't filming a reunion and that she says it's not official, but I'm getting calls as far as scheduling when production picks up again.
Okay,
Which,
that's
and
good.
that's okay. Like I'm someone, and I don't think this is as popular, but I don't need the reunion, honestly. I'm kind of okay if we're going to jump into next season
Hmm.
and immediately filming. It worked out with last season on the Valley.
You're right.
And that reunion, I honestly didn't know that I needed that reunion for the Valley because of the Jax and the Brittany and watching them. Everyone has teams and they discuss and they create their little what's going to be a good soundbite. So I feel like on Housewives, we just know it and it works. But
Hmm.
some of these, like the Summer House and Southern Charm, I don't know that I need it. Or maybe just like a one episode something.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we need it for the Valley Persian style because what they're going to talk about Sky for like the entire
Hmm.
hour. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, I agree. I agree. Maybe some shows don't get a reunion and then they just jump in with the drama that was still happening next season. But
Yeah.
yeah, really interesting.
Andy did say on his show this morning about as far as, Roni and New Jersey and Miami, he said that sometimes we just need to breathe, let the shows breathe for a second. And they said they did this with Atlanta. And when they brought Atlanta back, maybe like a year and a half later or something, it was a
Hmm.
long break. He said everyone was excited in it again. So let's just wait. I
Yeah.
think it started because Marisol came out saying that Miami does not have a film date, and everyone was just surprised by that. And then there wasn't anyone on the Ultimate Girls Trip cast, like the principal cast
Hmm.
that was from Miami. And I think that got people thinking,
Oh, because I thought that the reason why no one from Miami was on was because they were filming
same.
already.
So they have not. They just chose not to put someone on, which I can't remember how far later Miami started than OC.
I mean, that was like,
I mean,
gosh.
like with Larsa and Christy Rice. Remember Christy
Yeah, and
Rice?
like that was, I mean, I feel like that was at least when they do flashbacks of it, it's like
Yeah.
2013, 2014, or
Yeah,
2012.
which
So
around
that's a
then,
long time ago, you
yeah.
know? I can't believe they haven't started filming that. That show is so good. It
Yeah.
is like, I would say it's better than Salt Lake.
But I don't think ratings must be that great on it.
Oh, you know what? Let me read you a comment that one of my friends on TikTok commented because you made a video about this, so I made a video about it
Yeah.
too, about how they aren't filming those shows right now. And she
Right.
said, I think the Housewives franchises as it stands is close to dying. I think they will retool things to where it's more like an ultimate girls trip model, 2 to 3
Okay.
weeks, low commitment, low salaries, high drama and high reward and drama, or high drama and high reward and drama. So I was like, oh, that's actually like if Bravo needed to not pay these people that much, just
Yeah.
little
I
that could
agree.
totally change everything.
Yeah. And push out the shows like The Valley and Summer
Hmm.
House, whatever. Because I also wonder what is the age demographic of who's watching this? If they're pushing shows like more Summer Houses
Hmm.
and less Housewives, is it more of a younger crowd that is watching these shows? And they want to attract to their
Oh,
age.
oh, they don't want us
I know
anymore.
because
No,
I have to say I don't like the young housewives. I don't want to see
me
you dealing
neither.
dealing
Me
with
neither.
school and packing school lunches and you're pregnant and I don't want any of that. But
Yeah,
then I'm
I
like,
want you over 50 at least.
yeah,
You know what I mean? The older the
yeah,
better.
yes. And
I
I want to
want
see.
I want to end with some rapid
Hmm.
fire questions for you.
Okay.
Last week I asked you, would you want these shows to come back? Well, now I have a part two. So would you
Okay.
want these Bravo shows to come back? And we're starting with a controversial one, Real Housewives of Dallas.
No. I say no because I'm from Texas and the cast that they have, if it were a cast of more like Deandra Simmons, she was the one
Hmm.
that was wealthy Texas money.
Yes.
Very Texas money. Her and her friends is what I want to see. But what we did see was not what I think of when I think of Dallas. Because even I'm in Houston. In Houston and Dallas, we have like we're just known for very different. Dallas is
Hmm.
a little known, a
Hmm.
little more hoity-toity over there. So I want
Okay.
to see if they could retool it to where it's Deandra and her friends. I know this is
Yeah,
rapid fire.
I would want, it's okay. I
Mhm.
would want like give me the owners of the Cowboys. You get
Yes.
Jerry Jones's daughter on that show. I will
Yeah.
watch that because I know
Yes.
some crazy stuff's gonna happen. What about Real Housewives of DC?
I wanted that to come back. I was so upset that it didn't. I liked that cast, like that one. I think a lot of them are divorced now. There was the realtor, there was the one woman that had like 5 children. I would
Oh,
love to see, I
yeah.
wanted another season. I liked that show.
I same here. I would love to see what those people are doing now. I know the one like that got in trouble for going to the White House, like left her
She can
husband
go.
and she tours with Journey because she's with the lead guitarist of Journey. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Gallery Girls.
That was good, but I can't imagine that maybe if we retooled it with a younger crowd, because I
Hmm.
figure those girls are probably at about our age now
They're
and
probably
not.
not Gallery Girls
No,
anymore. What
no.
about it was similar show but different New York City Prep?
That was good too.
Hmm.
And I could
Hmm.
see, I think the issue was you can't quite film in the high schools. So it was, but still, I don't know if you could get parents to allow their kids to do that in this day and age.
And last but not least, would you want the Rachel Zoe project back?
Yes, but I think we need a new stylist because I don't think Rachel Zoe styles anymore.
I mean,
So
would it just
basically,
follow her
yeah,
like,
her. Yeah. Although she's doing good on Beverly Hills.
yeah,
I don't know. So no.
she's needed on Beverly Hills.
She is
Okay.
needed.
Well, thank you for being here, Sonia. You can reach her at Bravo Bravo Books and Bravo and Just Booking Around on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm Genevieve Melzer, and I am Real Melz at Bravo. And thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.